Okay, so I'm making this video to show you, uh, in case you need supplement from the book, how to do ray diagrams for converging mirrors and diverging mirrors. Okay, so a converging mirror is a concave mirror, and what's going to happen with a mirror that's concave is light rays that come in are going to get reflected down in towards a focal point. Right, so the focal point for this one, let's say it's like right here. There's my focal point. So what's going to happen is light rays that come in parallel are going to get focused, just like a converging lens focused light rays. Same thing's going to happen here. And we only need one focal point here because light isn't going to pass through the mirror, it's going to get reflected, right? So there's no point in having another focal point over here, so we really only need one. So our rays, two of the three rays are exactly the same as before. So the three rays are, the first one is you go parallel through the focal point, just like with the lens, right? The first ray, parallel, and then it'll come down through the focal point, and I can't draw on it, didn't go through the focal point, but whatever. And then the second one is the opposite of the first one. So if I go through the focal point, it'll come out parallel. And then my third ray, you're going to aim for the center, which is right here, right? Just like you did with the lens. You're going to aim for the center, but instead of going straight through, like a lens went straight through, it's going to get reflected and come back out at the same angle. So what that's going to look like, if it comes in and hits at this angle, it's going to come back out at the same angle. And hey, look at that, I made up for myself and I did a good line. So those two angles, this one, and this one, should match. And so if you can do two of those three lines, you'll be able to draw the ray diagram. So most of the time, you can always do, well, not most of the time, all the time, you can always do the center one, because there won't be anywhere that you go that you can't do the center one. But sometimes you won't be able to do the second line, like inside, in case you're inside the focal point, like you were doing with lenses. So sometimes that won't work, so you only have to use two of the three. Okay, so the other type is a diverging mirror. And so just like a diverging lens, a diverging mirror is going to make light rays diverge. So it's going to go parallel and then out. So light ray down here will come and go out. So it's going to make everything diverge away. So just like with lenses, diverging lenses always made virtual images. Diverging mirrors will always make virtual images. So the rays are exactly the same as before, except now, just like with a lens, we're going away from a focal point. So see how this curves in towards a circle this way? So the focal point is going to be somewhere like maybe like right here. And in reality, it's called an anti-focal point. And we'll get to what that means when we start looking at the equation and how it's really negative, but same concept applies. So the three rays you can draw, the first one, same as before, parallel, focal point. But remember, just like with the lens, how we went parallel and then we went away from the near focal point? Same thing here. So this line that goes parallel is going to hit, and it's going to go away from this focal point. So if I draw a little line up, it's going to go away from that, like this. That's terrible. And then the second line will be, we'll use that as our center one, right? Because that's really the easiest one to do. So this, and then out at the same angle. And just from there, you can already see where the image is going to be, because this one gets followed back to here. This one is going to get followed back to here, so they're going to meet up kind of right here. And so my object is going to show up as a little tiny arrow right here. But if you wanted to do a third point, you could aim at this focal point, right? So I'd aim like I'm going to hit it, and then come out parallel. If you wanted to do a third one, you don't necessarily have to do that one. You can get by with doing these two. And really, you can get by with doing just those two for all of them, but it gives you more options to have. So follow those rules, look at your worksheet from yesterday with the lenses to kind of help you, and turn those in. You should be able to do those. And then tomorrow we'll look at using the equation for them.